Let's talk about some other problems in pandemic management too with News Corp columnist Louise Roberts. Good to talk to you, Louise. Louise is the editor of Smart Daily and a columnist in the News Corp tabloids. And your column today was a cracker, Louise, talking about the miserable fun police who stamp out such joys as singing and dancing during this pandemic. It's over the top, isn't it?
Oh, Chris, good to see you. It's absolutely over the top. I mean, I don't know where someone has equated misery with beating the pandemic or dealing with COVID or however you want to put it. But clearly, and we need some joy in our life. We need some kind of approach where we're not completely imprisoned by these sort of terrible emotions and some really poor attitudes out there as well. I mean, I gave the example in Melbourne of the pianist who was playing, lovely piano music to people who were queuing up to have their vaccinations. And whether you're anxious about having the jab or not, I mean, it'd be lovely to hear that sort of music. So soothing. I mean, we know that music is great for the soul, but of course that was all. It was like a needle across the groove of the record and stopped because, we can't have too much fun and we can't have too much relaxation. And some of the conversations around people outside enjoying the sunshine have been some quite bitter trolling and completely unnecessary. It does not help.
Yeah, it's horrible. People have been very unneighbourly at times and judgmental. And what's astounded me is how some of the health officials and premiers have adopted this patronising tone. I can't believe that they actually speak to us in this way about some of the edicts they're handing down. Let's just have a look at a few of them. This is Jeanette Young, the Chief Health Officer in Queensland.
I'm not sure what the definition of dancing is. I think if someone is standing up and wriggling their hips, that's fine, Lydia.
Yeah, we've got to work out what constitutes dancing or not because we're banned dancing. In most states at various times, dancing has been banned. And another one I'll show before coming back to you, Louise, is the South Australian Premier, Stephen Marshall. And this is what we've all come to know as talking about vertical consumption.
Licensed premises, we will now allow vertical consumption outdoors. So for those licensed premises that have outdoor areas, there can be vertical consumption, whereas previously we've only allowed for seated consumption.
Look, it turns out, I didn't know this, Louise, but it turns out I spent a lot of the last 40 years enjoying some vertical consumption.
Well, haven't we all? Exactly. Is it any wonder that sometimes the regulations are confusing to people when you've got word salad like that? I mean, why not just say you can stand up and have a drink, or you can't stand up and have a drink, or, actually give it to us in plain English. We're not out to break the regulations or deliberately disobey the rules. I mean, obviously there is a section that are quite keen to do that to the detriment to the rest of us. But, I mean, we're not children. We can deal with it if we know that it leads to a more positive outcome and some freedoms at the end of it.
Well, you're right. If you're going to do this, at least speak sensibly about it. But I would argue in a lot of the cases they don't need to do it. Let's have a look at one more. This is New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian.
Bridal parties of up to 20 can be on the dance floor, but I stress it is the same 20. You cannot have a roster of different ghosts of 20.
I mean, it just astounds me, Louise. This is, a very, very impressive woman who runs the largest state in this country, and she's reduced to telling people who at a wedding is allowed to dance.
Yeah, I think they're just worried that there'll be some rogue breakdancing and that'll cause some sort of super spreader event. I'm not really sure.
Super spreader breakdancer.
Yeah, it's just, I think that it's being the belt and braces approach, I think. And as you said earlier, we're not children, so give it to us straight and we'll follow the regulations because we've actually all got the same goal here, and that's not to troll each other, surely.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us, Louise. Love your writing.
Good to see you. Thank you, Chris.
Louise Roberts on the triumph of the fun police during the pandemic. We're not allowed to have fun anymore. Thank God there was the Olympics and we've still got the footy.